All right, let's stand and let's sing for the very last time. And remember, today we're going to do all those big, long la-la-las. Once upon a time, there was a center where we learned to live a life that's true. Remember how we laughed away the hours and thought of all the good things we could do. These are the days, my friend, we know they'll never end. We'll sing and dance forever and a day. We'll live the life we choose. We'll give and never lose. As we believe is how we shall receive. La 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 la. La 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 la. When the busy world goes rushing by us and we misplace our spirit on the way, next time that I see you at the center, we'll smile at one another and we'll say, these are the days, my friend, I know they'll never end. We'll sing and dance forever and a day. We'll live the life we choose. We'll give and never lose. As we believe is how we shall receive. La 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 la. Just today I stood before the center. Everything's the way that it should be. In the glass I see my own reflection. Is that grateful person really me? These are the days, my friend, I know they'll never end. We'll sing and dance forever and a day. We'll live the life we choose. We'll give and never lose. As we believe is how we shall receive. La 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 la. I saw your face and heard you call my name. Oh, my friend, we're older and we're wiser, yet in our hearts the dream is still the same. These are the days, my friend, I know them never end. We'll sing and dance forever and a day. We'll live the life we choose. We'll give and never lose. As we believe is how we shall receive. La 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 la. Be careful what you wish for next time.
Well, after all that excitement, I'm Bruce Crack. Good morning. My name is Bruce Crack. On behalf of Reverend Donna Maurer and the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome you to the Sonora Desert Center of Spiritual Living. No, I say that slowly. Whoever you are and wherever you're on your spiritual path, you're welcome here. You're truly welcome here. You will be validated, supported, encouraged to be who you are meant to be. Our vision statement, which means a lot to me, love in action every day in every way. We express this love by learning and living the principle of science of mind. You'll find the declaration on the back of the program. Please read along with me. I believe there's an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligent power expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. So let's just take a little break and meditate on what we just read. Be good. Okay, we have two new faces. We have Doris's daughter, Tracy, that was visiting. Welcome. And Jose just can't stop bringing people. He has his brother-in-law from Wes is keeping him company. Welcome. Good to see you. And we have two people I thought were never coming back. We have Ann and Walter. Yay! Haven't seen them so long, I had to ask them, who are you? So welcome back. It's good to see you. Very good. Okay, we'll move on to our wonderful announcements.
Because of COVID, things have kind of stopped for a while, but we did have new member orientation last Sunday after services, and so it's our special privilege to welcome 3 new members into our family, and I'd like them to step forward if they would. It's Sherry Hartvig, Christine Norbaum, and David Burke. Yay. So today we honor the commitment that these 3 beautiful people have made by publicly acknowledging their desire to be recognized as members of the Sonoran Desert Center. I've been here how many years? Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. This is their outward declaration of an inner conviction that what this center teaches and represents is that, no, stay there. You got to stay there. This is their outward declaration of an inner conviction that what this center teaches and represents is in alignment with their own beliefs. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said there is not the church and its members, but the church as its members. For our members are truly the heart, the head, and the hands of this center. So today, Sherry, Christine, and David, you have consciously made the decision to be an integral part of the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. So in a warm, loving, divine fellowship of spirit, you are unifying with each other, with the members of this center, and with all centers for spiritual living throughout the world. As you join in membership, the experience of each one of us is enlarged and expanded into the greater good. As you love and serve this center in ways that are uniquely yours, you become a healing presence for all who walk through our doors. So to honor your commitment, I ask that you repeat after me. In this supportive atmosphere, I promise myself I will recognize God as the power and presence of my life. I will realize the truth of my highest self by consciously practicing the spiritual principles that I know to be true. I will release any sense of separation from the spirit of love. I will live my life with a grateful heart. There's a poem written anonymously, and those of you who've been here any time have heard it before, but it's just so perfect, and truly expresses, I think, what membership means. This is my center. It is made up of people like me. It will be friendly if I'm friendly. Its chairs will be filled if I fill them. It will make generous gifts to many causes if I am a generous giver. It will bring other people into its spiritual community if I bring them. It will be a place of support, faith, and love, a center with a noble spirit if I, who make it what it is, am filled with these qualities. With the power of God that indwells me, I shall dedicate myself to being all the things I want my center to be. And these things it will be. So may we all welcome Sherry, Christine, and David. We're so grateful that you have chosen to become members of our center. Thank you.
And I'd like to invite John Lopez to ring the bells today that signal the official start of our service today. Even though that poem was just so beautiful, and the dedication was so beautiful, guys. You okay? If you're new here, the words for our Namaste song are inside the first page of your program if you'd like to follow along. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste, Namaste.
Good morning. I'm going to talk a little bit about our practitioner team is offering a unique opportunity to come together on a weekly basis to discuss the research and map the meaningful connections that expanding the language of human experience can create in our lives. This is a unique opportunity to connect with each other and with our practitioners. By the book, Atlas of the Heart by Brené Brown, some of you are familiar with her work, and as you begin to sink into her words, you find comfort in knowing and understanding the difference between anxiety and excitement, for example, or jealousy and envy. If you know Brené Brown's work, you know she shares a lot about vulnerability. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage, she says. Join us for a weekly book discussion as we map our way together through over 80 descriptions of feelings, discovering new ways of finding inner peace and greater health. There are flyers on the back table, and Donna put a nice little insert in our program for us today. We need your help in spreading the word. This is coming up quickly. Heather has us on Facebook as an event, which you can easily share, and also on our new website, which, by the way, Heather created very quickly for us when our other website was hacked and shut down. Heather added a bonus, and I forgot to clear this with her beforehand. Look at that look on her face.
What happened? What'd I do?
A printable treatment book. You can go on our website and print out a treatment book. Isn't that awesome? Yes. So the practitioners are looking forward to your presence on Friday morning, March 18th at 10 a.m., and there's a sign-up sheet over there. I'm going to light this candle before I forget wherever it is. Okay, so I light this candle representing the light. The light, the light, the light within and everywhere. And for our invocation today, relax into the knowing. Let these words become yours. I am free with the freedom of God. I manifest this freedom in joy. I think of it with a deep inner sense of my union with the whole. In my own will and imagination, I see myself free, perfect, and whole. I feel back to the center of my being, which is God, and affirm that Spirit's freedom is my freedom. I enter into this freedom with complete abandonment, with the feeling that all things are working out well, and with a deep and sincere desire to live that my freedom shall be departed to others. I am in gratitude for this Sunday celebration when we all come together to share the joys of freedom and for our partnership with the infinite. And together we say, today, I'm taking a risk. I would like to share some words by Dr. Christine Northrup about the possibility of war. She starts by saying, this is creating our biggest health challenge. That as a physician, I know well that emotions such as fear and anger impede the healing process and if held long enough actually lock us in to a vicious cycle that produces more pain, more fear, and more anxiety. This can wreak havoc on our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. Yet, this does not have to be the case. There are specific things each of us can do right now to help prevent war and at the same time create peace in our bodies, minds, and spirits. I have an unshakable belief that each of us has a power through our thoughts and emotions to influence the energy of the planet in a way that helps prevent further conflict and also creates peace. Here's what we can do. 1, use your thoughts wisely. Understand their power. Thoughts have the tendency to become their physical equivalent. This is one of the fundamental laws of the universe. Another one is the law of attraction, which states like attracts like. Because it is consciousness that creates reality, because it's consciousness that creates reality, the kind of consciousness you hold, your vibration, actually creates the kind of life you're living. It's impossible to create peace and harmony if you're pushing up against a war. It's impossible to create peace and harmony if you're condemning the powers that be. You don't have to agree with them, But realize you'll be contributing to the energy that creates war if you assume an embattled mentality concerning them. It's not possible to fight for peace without creating war. 2, to create peace, you have to be peaceful. The only way to stop war is to start from within yourself. You must do personal disarmament. The only way to get and stay peaceful is to concentrate on what brings you peace and resist the downward spiral of negative emotions that blames others for your lack of peace. 3, avoid watching the news and, and reading the papers. Headlines are designed to keep you afraid and disempowered. The media is designed to get you riled up so that you remain tuned in to the chain of pain. The only lasting safety and security come from the peace that you create within yourself. 4, imagine all the angels and non-physical beings who are working on the other side to protect and uplift all of us. Know that they can only do their work in an atmosphere of compassion. Keep the channels of love and inspiration open for those who will benefit. Finally, know that when you are tuned into your heart, your inner wisdom and God, then your energy lightens up and your vibration literally changes. You become a beacon of light and peace. You become an uplifter and a peacemaker. Now imagine that it's a year from now and the economy is flourishing. The governments of the free world are all cooperating to ensure global harmony and peace. Imagine a global village in which all of us can travel freely and joyously with the understanding and acceptance of each other's choices and cultures. Imagine this was written in 2003 when going to war with Iraq was a possibility. In your mind, has anything changed? Change your thinking, change your life. Namaste.
Another beautiful hand for Melinda. That talk was captivating. Thank you. Thank you for taking a risk today. Amongst your family and friends here who love you and support your risk-taking. There it is. This is a song that I wrote last year that has recently taken on new significance for me. It's called Blossom and Grow. It's a song about storytelling and passing down of oral traditions, leaving legacies. We give up our words and fill up our hearts. We share from our lives and show that we're so much more than the sum of our parts. The stories we tend connect end to end like the lines of a garden we hold. When we plant the seeds for another one's dreams, the roots and the stems are watered and help us to grow. blossom and grow, blossom and grow, up to the sun grow, blossom and grow, blossom and grow, up to the sun. Courage to speak, the wisdom to hear, the lessons of ancestors, mystics, and loved ones departed and dear, the modern day fairy tales, more than just talk. They shade us and guide the paths that we walk to grow, blossom and grow, blossom and grow, up to the sun grow, blossom and grow, blossom and grow, up to the sun grow, blossom and grow, blossom and grow, up to the sun. Grow, blossom and grow, blossom and grow, up to the sun.
That was beautiful, very beautiful. Yeah. And thank you, Melinda, for reading that story. 2003, I thought she was talking about today. Isn't that something, how things have changed over those years? Interesting. I got my hair cut on Friday. It was rather interesting. I'm sitting in the barber's chair. Was it that bad? And the beautician says to me, she says, "You wouldn't know somebody by the name of Kathy Graves, would you?" And I says, "Oh, yes, I know her well. She goes to our church." She says, "I thought so." She said, "I thought you guys probably went to the same church." She says, she'd mentioned it a few times at the church and how much it means to her. She said, "Well, then you must know a person by the name of Susan." I said, "Susan included?" She says, "Yeah, I can tell all three of you go to that church." So... Well, and Heather, you know, what was that? I missed that. Nice, isn't it, huh? Heather mentioned about stories, and that's what today is going to be about, because we're going to give all of you an opportunity who wish to tell a little bit about your story of what this center means to us. But before we do that, I need to cover a couple of things about the pledge campaign. We had set out a goal for $94,000 that we wanted to hit. And let me tell you why we set that goal. That's exactly how much money came in contributions on Sunday services or pledge campaigns during the last fiscal year. And so that's why we chose $94,000. Right now, we're sitting at just over $80,000, $80,304, which means we're short by about $13,700. However, we know on any given Sunday, we have people who have not pledged but do give money, or people who are visiting and give money, and they normally account for something over $10,000, who are about that far from hitting our goal. So first of all, I want to thank you all who have pledged. We really appreciate that. And those who haven't, you still have an opportunity to do it today. Those who want to raise your pledges, you can do that also. And even after today, you can still get a hold of the church office, and they can still help you do that. But we're very, very close. So today we're going to talk about stories, and I looked on the internet for a couple of stories, and Donna thought she knew the one I was going to tell, but it's not. I changed it. So I found this really interesting story. It's called What Goes Around Comes Around. One day, a boy who was selling goods from door to door to pay his way through school found that he had only one thin dime left in his pocket, and he was hungry. He decided he would ask for a meal at the next house that he knocked at. However, he lost his nerve when a lovely young girl answered the door. Instead of a meal, he asked for a glass of water. She looked at him and she thought, he looks hungry. So she went to the refrigerator and got him a tall, cold glass of milk. He drank it slowly and then asked, "How much do I owe you for this?" "You don't owe me anything," she replied. "My mother taught us that we should never accept payment for kindness." "Well, then thank you from the bottom of my heart," he replied. As the boy left the house, he not only left stronger physically, but his faith had been renewed because he was thinking about quitting and giving up. Years later, the young girl became critically ill. The local doctors were baffled. They finally sent her to the big city where they could call in a specialist to study her disease. Dr. Howard Kelly was called in for a consultation. When he heard the name of the town that this girl came from, a strange light filled his eyes. He immediately rose and he went down the hall to the hospital room. Dressed in his doctor gown, he went in to see her. After meeting her, he went back to the consultation room, determined that he would save her life. From that day on, all of his attention was given to her case. After a long struggle, the battle was finally won. Dr. Kelly requested that the business office pass the final bill to him for approval. He looked at it, and then he wrote something on the margin of the bill and sent it to her room. She feared to open it, knowing that it would take her the rest of her life to pay off the charges. Finally, she got up the nerve, and she looked at the bill. And it caught her attention that on the side of the bill, in the margin, she saw something written in words, and it said, "Paid in full with 1 glass of milk." Isn't that a beautiful story? Dr. Howard Kelly. I don't think I'm the only one who feels about this center the way I feel. I love this center. I love coming here every Sunday. I am always restored every Sunday when I come here and see your smiling faces, all the people I love and care about and have known forever, some of them just recently back. And so we'd like you to have an opportunity to give a little story of your own, whatever you would like to say about what this center means to you. This is your opportunity. And I see a hand in the back. Wanda, I'm going to just walk right down and give it to you.
Thank you, Don. Very warm story. My little story is about, maybe I should go up there because everybody, okay. When I first came here, it was in the summer where my mother was sick, and I happened to be down here taking care of her in 2009. So I stopped in a couple times, and I wasn't able to get back until 2011. And then I became a member, and I was really happy to be here, and I get something out of every service I come to. And then after she passed, which was in the early 2012, I was doing okay, and a year later, still coming to church, but feeling really down in the month that my mom had passed. I was really gnarly, and Melinda was running a class at the time. Her and Loma kept bugging me about taking this class. It was called The Untethered Soul, was the name of the book by Michael Singer. And I came, and one of the rules of sharing in that little group was that nobody gave advice and nobody told other people what to do. But some people like to do that anyway because they don't know that rule real well. And I remember snipping at people because they were telling me things that I should do or think or feel because I was feeling so down and out. And well, first of all, they bugged me about taking the class, so finally I just, all right, I'll take your silly class. And I did. And halfway through that, this book, it was talking about the chakras
and it talked about the depression is oftentimes the shutting down of the heart chakra. And that book and those chapters just opened my heart. And it was the beginning of a new life for me, and that was in March of 13. And I'll be ever grateful for that book and those people bugging me to take that class. So if you're getting bugged about taking a class, take it. It'll change your life.
I don't know. I walk up here and they laugh. I'm just a girl who can't say no. That's a reference to some of you who don't know, is that this is a really safe place to be everything that you can be. And that's evidence to that comment about I'm just the girl who can't say no, because Don and Lynn talked me into doing a song. I'd never sung before in front of anybody. And this was a song about I'm just a girl who can't say no. I was doing one of our pledge campaigns. It's probably out there on video somewhere. This is a special place. Each of you are so special to me. I love you dearly. Dan and I lived down in Tubac full-time for 4 years, from 2014 to 18. And we came here, and Donna, the day we walked in after we moved, Donna said, "Oh, you're home now." And she's right. This is our home. You know, we just don't say it's a spiritual home. This is our home. I mean, you guys are family. And I know that if I needed anything, any person who sits in this room is someone who I could go to. I know you know how special that is. I know that you know it because you and I are one. I just can't say enough about how happy I am that we are at least down here for part of the year. I'll keep working on my husband to get down here full time again, but that may take a little while. But even when I'm not here during the summertime, like these past few years, you know, Zoom, I mean, count your blessings. Whatever happens is exactly perfect. It's what's supposed to be. And Zoom was one of those things during the pandemic that was so wonderful, because I got to get on Zoom and stay connected with so many of you. Took an absolutely excellent class that Melinda provided, and it was one on radical forgiveness. And we had a special little group of women that, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about vulnerability? I learned how to be more vulnerable than I've ever been. And, you know, a lot of times, I just read something in Science of Mind that said that our independence, you know, how if anyone's going to do it, I'm going to do it, you know, that type of thing. Well, that's not being real vulnerable. And it comes a lot of times from hurt. And it's really, the flip side of that is when you are open, you give, you get more in return. That was another big lesson that I learned recently. I started to accept and receive from others. But I'll tell you, that was a baby step compared to my ability to receive now. Because Dan and I have been recipients of some really big gifts of people's time and energy and people's love that they give to us. And it's just we learned how to receive. And I got to tell you, if you are, have those, if you need to be potted and grown, what was the words, of the song? If you need to grow, this is the place where you can do it, because all of us are one. We can trust one another. I can tell you that. I don't know some of you all that well, but I know I can trust you, because we're in this philosophy together. We're in this awareness together. We're in this energy together, and it is pure love. Man, I didn't know I could ramble on with so many words, just extemporaneously, but it's because it's truly how I feel. And I know a lot of you feel the same way. You know, from spiritual classes that we have with Rosie and with John, that they do those twice a month, getting to know one another, it's, okay, I'll just shut up and say I love you all. You're my family. Thank you so much.
Well, I knew if I didn't get up here fast, somebody would say everything I wanted to say. Ditto. But, I lived in the same state for my entire life. I moved around a little bit, but all the people I knew have been around me for so long, 30, 40 years. And now I'm transplanted. And talk about transplant and grow. This is family. And I sometimes get a little blue for my family that I've left behind, and then someone calls me and says, hey, can I come over? Oh, do you need anything? I'm just checking on you. How you doing? Want to go to lunch? So, family. This is family. Thank you.
Well, I wasn't going to come up, but I decided I had to. It's been a long and winding road for Gray and I to get here. But at each place where we settled along that road, I made sure there was a center that we could attend. Otherwise, I wasn't going to move there. And when we finally moved to the southwest, to Tucson, I said, oh, great, there's a center in Tucson. And then I found out that there was another center in Amado, which I had never even heard of. I mean, I hadn't heard of Amado. And so Spirit guided us to Green Valley. We were looking for a place, and somehow we said, well, let's check out this Green Valley place and see what's there. And I had heard people talking about, oh, there's a lovely little church down in Amado, and you might want to check that out. And so before we actually moved to Green Valley, Gray and I came and we checked it out one Sunday. And I remember Reverend Donna welcoming us with open arms, and she told all of you, said, this is John and Gray, and they're thinking about moving to Green Valley, so love them up. And you did. And so like Heather's song, Blossom and Grow, in this teaching, and especially in this center, I am blossoming and growing. I don't know any other space, any other community where I can go and wear my bling and stand up there and speak without a fear or a care in the world, because the love and the safety that I feel in this sanctuary truly, truly is home. Yeah. So I am so blessed to be here. And the road has led me right here and right now, and I have no intentions of going anywhere else. Namaste.
Thank you, John. And John, might I add, you've been a wonderful blessing to all of us. Yeah. You make a huge difference here.
I'm Fran Sutherland, and I'm a painter, not a talker. But I wanted to share with you, you get what you give. And I want my friend Carol Ann to tell you why I'm here. And I'm not having anxiety about saying this to you. I'm excited about sharing this with you. That ever since I came here and had the first show, because Carol Ann's going to tell you how it happened, and the more I have given here, the more every year I've gotten back. And it keeps happening. And so I'm living an example of you get what you give. And I want Carol Ann to tell you how we got here.
I'm not sure I'm going to say the right things. I brought Fran out with me to help me fix up a house that got flooded that I bought when I came out here with my mom because my dad had died and she thought she wasn't going to get to see the Grand Canyon. We picked up her matron of honor in Green Valley and we did the canyons for 3 weeks. And I got back, I was wild. And they went to church and I went to find a good bottle of wine. Instead, I found a house. And I emptied out my account and ended up buying a house. And then I brought Fran out here. And we both loved it, and I found a house for her to buy. At a yard sale. At a yard sale. Sight unseen, she bought the house. Talk about friendships. And so I said, oh, you have to come to the center with me. You just have to come to the center with me. And at that time, we were thinking about promoting the idea of having artwork here because we are also committed to the art in earth, EARTH. And Fran had a show here, and the next thing you know, we're coming here every Sunday that we're here.
You have to say how the show happened. You sat next to Ann Cummings.
I sat next to Ann Cummings. And I said, Ann, I have a friend who has the most beautiful artwork. I'd like you to see it, and do you think we could arrange for her to have a show here? And she did. And we're members, and just absolutely thrilled to be here. And everything that everyone has said is absolutely true. I so miss you when I'm not here. And I so miss the family and the commitment that the people have here for making each other comfortable in their own skin, doing what they love to do best, and loving what we're doing. So I thank you all. It's a wonderful journey, and I'm just so pleased that I came upon you, and there are no accidents.
So, as you all know, I'm just becoming a member, but, well, whatever. Thank you. Christine and I lived in Michigan for 7 years. There is not a CSL anywhere in Michigan. We came from Las Vegas, where there's multiple ones in one city. I really felt deprived not having a spiritual home. This is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Anyone else would like to say something? Thank you, Gary.
I shared yesterday with the men, but if it wasn't for this center, that men's group wouldn't be here. But I'll tell you, if it wasn't for the men's group, this center might not be here. Because there's a difference in the energy in this group here this morning than there was last week. Why? Because the men made it yesterday. They brought their energy to you to share with you. Many people here know something of my history, and it's good to be in the center when I needed it most. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Gary. Let me just add to that. Some of you ladies are probably wondering, what does he mean by that? I think men share differently than women do oftentimes. And in our men's group, we are very open and we're very vulnerable with each other. And we talk about things that otherwise we may not talk about. And it adds a different level of energy. Speaking of that, yesterday Bob Schaefer told us that his wife Donna is having some challenges health-wise and is going to have a procedure done on Tuesday, which is very vital for her. And so if you'd all keep her in your prayers, it would be very much appreciated. I'd like to add 2 other people to this. Reverend Donna's been with us, I don't know how many years. When did you come here?
2006.
2006, before I started coming here, I think. So long before I started. 2006, and as you know, Donna is a pillar to our center, someone we all love dearly and always look forward to her sermons and what she shares with us. But not only that, but she's someone who cares and loves everybody here. And also a more new addition, Heather, who came here. What year did you come here, Heather?
Right at the end of 2016 already.
2016 already? Oh my gosh, it's almost 6 years now.
17,
Wow.
officially membered up. Yeah.
Well, and what a difference she has made. And it's been not only fun to have Heather with us, but the fact is that Heather, we've also watched her blossom and grow here in our center. And I think it's amazing the creativity that Heather brings to us, because the ideas we bring to Heather regarding our pledge campaign or volunteers celebration, we ask if she can work on a video, and she does such a superb job, I think. So we thank you very much.
I just want to say that I first met Heather at the Tucson Center when she was a guest performer for one Sunday. And her music and her spirit and her presence just resonated with me immediately. And I complimented her for her performance after the service that day. And I just remember the way she said, "Thank you." And it came from such heart and such sincerity that I fell in love immediately. And so when I found out that she was candidating to be musical director at this center, it was like, yes, it is done. And here she is.
Thank you, John. And also, we should mention all of our practitioners. We have a wonderful core of practitioners that bring a wonderful message to us. We love them dearly. And I don't want to be blowing our own horn, but I'm going to for a second. Your board of trustees. Our board is not just a regular board, they're a working board, which means when you come on the board, you're expected to do some work, and they do. A lot of it's done behind the scenes. You don't see it, some of it's up front. You see Susan back there and other people working in the back, but it is a wonderful board, and it's a wonderful opportunity for those who get the opportunity to share and be on that board. It's really a cool thing to do. So, does anyone else have anything else before we turn this over to Reverend Donna? Heather, you want to say something?
Really, really quickly. Number one, thank you, and I love you all. You are all my spiritual family, my spiritual home. I'm not going to do this. I do this every time I open the mic up, every time. You guys know me by now. I'm one of the cryingest people you'll ever meet. But I know you guys miss open mic night, and I know you guys miss special guests, musical guests, artistic guests. I'm so grateful that our displays are back up and that our artists are back on the walls here at our sanctuary. It is my goal as the music director and for all of you this year to start bringing back those special musical guests, to start bringing back open mic night. So long story short, pledge, 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 because that takes care of their payroll too. So thank you.
And I know Reverend Donna has a few words to say, but we also want to mention at some point Donna's going to let you all come up here who have pledged and pick up one of these beautiful rocks. These rocks were all printed by Lynn, my bride, and we have finished them with an acrylic so that the writing doesn't come off, and it'll stay there for you. But right for now, we want to turn over to our wonderful minister, Reverend Donna Maurer.
All right. We don't generally go over, so I hope that you cut us some slack this morning because I think it's really important. And I want to thank Don and Lynn Green for doing this thing for so many years. And I too want to thank Heather, who participated so fully in this, even though she was going through her own dark night. So we're here to laugh, we're here to express our joy, and we're here to share our tears. And that's one of the things I think that makes us safe. I didn't know how much time I'd have, so let's see where I can cut. That's okay. Don read a poem to me this week, and I want to share it with you because it's kind of going to move us into the final piece of our pledge campaign. It's by R.L. Sharp, and it's entitled Stepping Stones or Stumbling Blocks. Isn't it strange how princes and kings and clowns that caper in sawdust rings and common people like you and me are builders for eternity? Each is given a list of rules, a shapeless mass, a bag of tools, and each must fashion, ere life is flown, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. So you and I are the stepping stones that have supplied the love, the heart, and the resources to create, keep, and grow our spiritual home. Author and theologian Harry Nguyen said community is like a large mosaic, a fellowship of people who together make God visible in the world. And I can't think of a better definition of who and what we are here at the center: God made visible in the world. As we began this pledge campaign, we asked you, as you made your pledge, to put a note of inspiration on the calendar with your name on it so we could all acknowledge your loving generosity. So today, as we conclude our campaign, I ask that all of you who have pledged or who know that you're going to please come forward and take a stone to remind you that we are each the stepping stones that make God visible in the world. Thank you. So just start a line. Come get your rocks. Come get your stones.
When it comes to food and rocks, I'm first.
As it should be. I mean.
In light of the time today, let's not do our congregation song, but instead I'd like to do a song for the former music director who was so wonderful. His name was Eric Hansen, and this is one of his songs. It's called Cast Your Stone.
There's a hummingbird humming in the Arizona sky. Look at the bird, he sure can fly. Little bitty body, paper thin wings. Just goes to show you don't have to be big to do great big things. Cast your stone into the water. Cast your stone into the sea. There's 100,000 starfish stranded on the shore. Throw them back in one by one. There's 100,000 more. But I cast my stone into the water. Cast my stone into the sea. There's a green turtle walking walking by the side of the road. How does he get from here to there? I bet you'd like to know. He said, little by little, you know, bit by bit. Takes more than some old rabbit to make the turtle quit. Cast your stone into the water. Cast your stone into the sea. There's 100,000 starfish stranded on the shore. Throw it back in one by one. There's 100,000 more. But I cast my stone into the water. Cast your stone into the sea. Arizona, Arizona sky.
Perfect.
You missed something somewhere.
Little bitty body, great big wings. Little bitty body, great big thing.
By the way, if you, oh my goodness, how'd that happen? If you're husband and wife, you can both take a stone. So. You get yours and I'll get mine. Okay. I'll get mine too. Thank you, Cliff. Whew. And with all of that, it's time for our offering. And I ask that you join us in the offering affirmation on the left hand side of your bulletin. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of our, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
I don't know why, but I'm called to do this song today for the offering. I don't know why.
Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard was a song outside my window, and the traffic wrote the words. It came ringing up like Christmas bells and wrapping up like pipes and drums. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day, and they'll wear it till the night comes. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun through yellow curtains and a rainbow on the wall. Blue, red, green, and gold to welcome you, crystal crimson beads to beckon. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day. There's a sun show every second. Opens on a portrait of today, and the streets are paved with passers-by. Pigeons fly and papers lie, waiting to blow away. Woke up, it was a Chelsea first thing that I knew. There was milk and toast and honey and a bowl of oranges too. And the sun poured in like butterscotch and stuck to all my senses. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day and we'll talk in present tenses.
So we do thank you for your generosity, not only from the offering, but from your pledges this year. We are indeed blessed, and I share Don's sentiments and the other people who've spoken. This is my home. This is my family. I love you all so very much. So thank you. Thank you for being a part of my family. So let's just close out this portion in prayer, and then there's some goodies on the table. Please join us in conversation. And who cares if we're a little bit late? Okay. I know that there is one divine life. It's the life of God that animates each and every one of us. I know we are indeed God at work in the world. God visible through you, through me, through what we do, what we believe, and how we act towards others. I know that our mission statement, our spiritual statement, love in action every day in every way, is not just some sentiment that we say. It is who we are and what we do. We are so blessed to be a part of this center and know that it continues to flourish with beautiful people. I speak a special word, of course, for the areas of dissension, especially Ukraine. And I am definitely going to get a copy of Melinda's writing from Christine Northrup, because it's something that I need to hear over and over. So I release all these words into that law of mind to do its perfect work on behalf of each and every one of us for that highest and best good as it shines forth in our lives. And I just say thank you, thank you, thank you as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. Can we stand and form a circle and sing stand? And by the way, we changed the last line in this word, a couple of lines in the word stand.
Yes, we did.
So it's on that blue sheet on the bottom.
Yes. Just remember, when we're singing this song, we're not building a new world or making a world. We're living in a new world, okay?
Living it now.
So remember, we're living a new world.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are living a new